Good morning, Bucknutters. It is Thursday, March 23rd, 2017. I am Dan Rubin. This is the Bucknuts Morning 5 and Change, coming to you live on tape from a sunny Gem City. We can only hope the same is true in Indianapolis. Stephen Wiltfong, Director of Recruiting for 24/7 Sports, checks in. Steve, how goes it?
Man, it goes great. The sun is out here in the Indianapolis suburbs. Got my smoothie in hand, staring out my office window. It's a beautiful morning, and I'm excited to talk Ohio State recruiting because we had interesting things to talk about this week.
We do. This is actually going to be a good show. Not that the others aren't good, but this is going to be Marconi-level content. First, there's a running back that everybody wants, and I will admit, I had not even paid attention to this because I got a vibe. There was no chance he was ever going to be a Buckeye, but maybe I was wrong. His name, Zamir White. Please bring us up to speed on who exactly Zamir White is and how he fits into the Buckeyes' future possibly.
Well, Zamir White is the nation's number 1 running back, number 3 player overall, according to 24/7 Sports. By far the top running back prospect in this 2018 recruiting class. He's been to Ohio State twice in the past, told Ryan Bartow, our national insider, when Ryan was at the school earlier this week, that he will be returning to Ohio State's campus in April, which then made me check in with some Ohio State sources that believe that Zamir really wants to go to Ohio State. They think that Ohio State people think that they're very much in this race. At one point I thought Zamir was all Clemson. My crystal ball is on Georgia right now. I think that Georgia is in the driver's seat, but Zamir coming back up to Ohio State one more time, his third visit. I think that people recognize the opportunity he would have in Columbus. I think there's a lot of things intriguing about Ohio State. So and people know that I will say no shot if I think there's no shot. I think Ohio State has a shot here with Zamir White. We'll see how that final visit goes. Tony Alford has been very involved in this recruitment. You know, Urban Meyer is a factor. Ohio State certainly will have an opportunity in the backfield with Zamir White, and so I like where Ohio State stands going into the visit.
The dude scored 47 touchdowns last year, 41 on the ground, for 2,159 yards.
He's 200-pound plus running back, physical, has breakaway speed, great balance after contact. He's the total package. He's the guy you want in your backfield. He'll be a guy that'll be tough to keep off the field as a true freshman, regardless of who you got coming back.
He's listed at 5'11", 195. I assume that's a little low, weight-wise.
Yeah, I'm not sure, and it's funny you mentioned that. I'm in the process of doing some Googling to make sure, because I'm pretty sure he's over 200 pounds now. Yep, he's 220. I mean, I'm updating that right now. So you guys are getting a little on-air correction of the
behind the scenes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean this guy's a special player.
Making some sausage. Yeah, I mean, he runs like an animal. Seriously, this guy is a legit big-time football player. He does look like the every down back. He's got the perfect mold for that. So that's something we'll definitely stay tuned to. That's a name that I have not featured a lot here on the BM5 in my time because, like you said, I didn't want to put a pipe dream up there. But if they're really in the mix, we definitely need to start paying attention to Laurinburg, North Carolina's Zamir White. One guy we're paying attention to because he's going to be in town today, Houston Griffith Jr., if you recognize the name. His dad is the former Illinois fullback of 6 touchdown in 1 game fame who now works for the Big Ten Network. His son
in between won a Super Bowl.
Just mixed it in with the Broncos. Was a key cog in clearing the way for Terrell Davis, for those who don't remember. What do you think of his son? Houston Griffith, defensive back. His name's been out there a lot. What chances do the Buckeyes have, and how much do you think this visit will affect that?
Well, the Buckeyes are no question near the top of the list for Houston Griffith, who's out of Chicago but now playing his high school football at IMG Academy down there in Bradenton, Florida. I was at Sound Mind, Sound Body in the summer where Urban Meyer and Kerry Combs watched Houston go through position drills and then extended him a scholarship. he's a guy that at that point was clearly a corner, but talking to folks down at IMG and talking to various college coaches, they said that he's kind of maybe outgrown the position and is now more in that safety mold as he stacked on some mass down there in the Sunshine State. So I think for a lot of schools, finding where Houston fits in the defense, and that's one of the things Houston's excited about getting to Columbus today, is talking to the staff about how they plan to utilize him on the next level. And if everything lines up, Ohio State's got as good a chance as anybody to land this young man. They're already the 24/7 Sports crystal ball favorite. I am on foggy. Notre Dame, Illinois, Florida State, some of those other schools in the mix right now for Houston Griffith. But I could very much see Houston Griffith signing with the Buckeyes.
He has a visit scheduled later in the week, I believe tomorrow, to Penn State.
Today.
So we shall see.
Oh, yeah. Penn
I think he's lining them up day by day. Yep. All right, here's the information everyone likely tuned into, and it was pubbed. Have we found the next quarterback for Ohio State? We know JT, Joe Burrow, Dwayne Haskins, Tate Martell, Emory Jones in 18. In 2019, the top quarterback is Michael Johnson Jr. The Buckeyes are very interested. He has a very interesting story. Why don't you bring us up to speed on the guy who could be next in line of what has become a royal lineage?
Well, Michael Johnson, when he got his offer from Oregon, where his dad's the receivers coach now, former offensive coordinator at UCLA, he had told me that he was taking the visit to Ohio State this week. It was originally, he had told me the 24th, the 25th, but he's traveling today. Has 9 offers already: Florida State, Oregon, Texas Tech, West Virginia, Louisville. I'm speculating here, but educated guess says that he'd probably leave Columbus with number 10. Obviously he can play, and he's a sought after guy, will be a sought after guy, a coach's kid, a guy who's already produced on the prep level, a big, strong kid that can throw the football downfield and obviously can break you down with his legs, a special talent, and a guy that certainly doesn't hurt that Ohio State's getting on campus early. Obviously, when you have a school that has a dad on staff, they're typically tough to beat, but at the same time, I think the dads know as well as anybody that, coaches come and go, and you got to make the decision that's best for you. And Ohio State, certainly, Urban Meyer's track record is certainly advantageous for a quarterback of this skill set. And I don't know what their relationship is. His dad's actually the guy that I thought Paul Feinbaum looked like we all look like idiots at different times in the media, and that was Feinbaum's time criticizing Harbaugh for hiring this guy in an off-field role, a guy who was a former coordinator at a Pac-12 school. Harbaugh gets criticized by Feinbaum for page clicks for bringing him on in an off-field role, and then Oregon obviously turns around and gives him an on-field role, and Feinbaum kept it moving, probably looking for his next Jim Harbaugh clickbait rant, kind of in that same Skip Bayless LeBron James rant. There's no way Skip can believe what he's saying about LeBron James. The shtick is old, but getting off track here. I think that
he had Saban hook him up recently, though.
Michael Johnson
coming
to Ohio State. Right, exactly. Michael Johnson coming to Ohio State for 2 days with his mother. I think that means that they're genuinely looking at Ohio State, and we'll see how things develop with Michael in all schools.
You're hesitant to use the word great prospect. This is a great prospect. If you look at him, he's already 6'3", pushing 200 pounds. Great frame. I mean, this looks like the guy who should be next in line and what has become, like I said, a royal lineage of players. It is interesting, though. His dad,
he's a high
football
IQ kid. All right.
Well, his dad. I mean, look, his dad played quarterback at Akron, transferred to Akron, then played in the CFL for a bit and was on Mike Riley's staff. When Rick Neuheisel was running UCLA, he was the offensive coordinator. When Neuheisel was canned, this guy coached the bowl game. So this is not some ancillary coach that Harbaugh was trying to add to the staff. Now, do I believe Harbaugh was trying to add him to the staff to get close to Michael Johnson? Yes, 100%. But his dad doesn't mean his dad's not legit. And it's been proven because he's now Willie Taggart's wide receivers coach. We appreciate Steve coming and bringing the knowledge. That's three big-time guys we've talked about today, and Zamir White, Houston Griffith, and Michael Johnson. The way the Buckeyes are going, I'll crystal ball all three of the Buckeyes, even though I don't have a crystal ball. Have a good one, Bucknutters.